Hello to all you Leos. Hello and welcome to these monthly horoscopes for Leo 2013 with me, Veerle. Now, what a month this is! It's such an emphasis on your 8th house for Leos. And what is going to happen? Well, there's one planet that is really going to be highlighted this month, and it is Neptune. Now, Neptune is a very slow planet, and it's now around 2 degrees, 3 degrees during the month of February, transiting in Pisces in your 8th house. Now, these planets are at the background. So for everyone, this is at the background. But when does such a planet comes very much into the picture? When a personal planet hits it with a conjunction or a square or an opposition. And this month it's not going to be hit once, it's 4 times. So there's going to be a whole stellium of planets in Pisces during the month of February. It will be Mars for the whole month. Mars will be in your 8th house. It will be also Mercury and the Sun, and also Venus at the very end of the month. It's going to bump into Neptune when they enter Pisces, your 8th house. Now this surely shows that Neptune is very much going to be in the picture for all of us, and for you in particular, for Leos, it's in the 8th house. Now what is Neptune? Neptune is about having the ability, notwithstanding the fact that you're an identity and a person, but also having the possibility to connect and to feel that you are connected with something bigger than yourself, that you are an element of the bigger whole, and that you are connected to the divine and to source. And this is all great, of course, if you have that connection, if you have that understanding that there is more than just our 5 senses. There is unconditional love in this world. There is hopefully a bit more, but everything that has to do with the divine, with spirituality, with idealism, is all concentrated in that positive aspect of planet of Neptune. Now, I'm not going into the negative side of Neptune. Why? Not that I don't want to see it, but simply because there is a very positive configuration going on with those planets in Pisces. That's why I think it will rather go the good way, because the negative side of Neptune is confusion, deception, not knowing where you're heading at, and not understanding what's going on, having no limits, having no boundaries, having no identity. That is terrible, especially for a Leo who is ruled by the Sun, and that is all about identity, and that is all about an ego. So it's certainly not in the meaning of, in the plan of the divine. It's not to lose yourself. That's not the big plan. The plan is just to stay a person and to have your own identity, but feel that you're in an element of everything. Now, that is Neptune. But what is the 8th house? The 8th house is a very water house as well. It's a very transformational house. It's that area of our lives that we deal with our biggest fears, that we deal with the taboos in our lives. So for you, Leo, this Neptune energy and all these planets in the 8th house will highlight these topics, will highlight. You will want to master your fears, and it could be little fears, could be also big fears. You will master them, and there is a huge opportunity, especially the first 2 weeks of the month of February. There is a huge opportunity to master them, and to, that you really see in a real way that it is mastered, because all this stellium, and especially Mars, which is actually the planet of action, so you really will put action towards the fact that you want to you want to master those things that are difficult for you, because I feel that these are the things that we have problems with, you could say. This Mars will form a beautiful trine with another planet in a water sign, that's Saturn, and with Pluto in Capricorn, making a sextile. This shows that all these beautiful aspects with Pluto and with Saturn, this is all about grounding. This is all about, you know, making this real, not what I talked about, Neptune, that is very, very much high in the sky, but not only high in the sky, but very broad. And Saturn and Pluto is very not broad, it's here, it's down to earth. And combining the two is a bit of magic in this world. So for you, it's going to be a bit of magic when you are able, and you will sense that you are able to master something that you've been struggling with for quite a while. So that's very, very nice for Leos. It's not the easiest house, the 8th house, but if it's so beautifully aspected with Pluto and Saturn, it means that you get help. It means that you get help from this Saturn in Scorpio. And Saturn in Scorpio is your 4th house. So that 4th house, that is the core you. It's literally your house, but it can also be the core of you. And Pluto is in Capricorn in your 6th, which is your work. So all these areas of life can help you to transform. Work can help you to transform. Things that you sort out for yourself on a very deep level that has to do with generations and generations. If you do that work, then you will benefit from it. Maybe you say, but I'm out of work and I'm dealing with this and it's like I'm doing nothing. But no, you're working on an inner level, and that will give its fruits, and you will benefit from them, from that. So it's a very intense month for Leo, especially those who have an ascendant in Leo, with all that activity in the 8th house. And there are also a couple of planets that go retrograde, Saturn and Mercury. So that will shift the flavor. It's very much like the first 2 weeks of the month are really opening up, are really showing you and not only showing you, but also in real manifestation, showing you that things are possible to transform. And the Sun, your ruler, is in there as well, in that 8th house of Pisces. So you're really up to that. You really want to do that. And so it's like taking 3 or 4 or 5, even 5 steps forward. And then the other 2 weeks that are following, it's a bit more like, you know, taking a pause and taking a step back, taking one little step back, then in order to contemplate and to see and to understand what is going on. And Saturn is going retrograde as from the 19th in your 4th house. That's the house of your core. So maybe you're going to think about your roots, and maybe you're going to go back to your roots if you're living in another country. Or maybe you were thinking about your role as a father yourself, if you are a man. Or maybe you are thinking about your responsibilities at home as part of the family. Or maybe you want to move, and you are going to think about how you're going to do that, to make that real. Mercury is going retrograde as from around the 24th of the month, so that's in that 8th house. And that is very interesting. When Mercury is in the 8th house, it reflects that your mind is with, you know, the things that have deep meaning, the things that goes beyond death, the things that maybe you are going to think about that and what it means for you. Or maybe you are going to think about occult stuff or about things that are taboo. It's really a very big beam on that. And highlight it later on when Mercury goes direct again. There will come insights about intimacy. Maybe you're having some trouble with intimacy in relationships. Well, hopefully in one relationship, but maybe you're having problems with that, and maybe you will sort that out. And only this Mercury shows that you do have to rethink about that. You really do have to shift things, and when you do, then off you go again. So there is also going to be a full moon at around the 25th of the month in Virgo. That's your second house. So maybe on another level there is something going on with finances. Maybe you're gonna gain something, or maybe, you know, a nice gift with the moon in that second house, and it is followed by Venus in the 8th house. So maybe the 8th house is money of other people. Maybe you are getting some money of other people, or getting some money back, because Venus attracts also money in the money houses. So that's a good thing as well. But with Venus in the 8th house entering at the very end of the month, the 27th of the month, and bumping into Neptune, that is a very romantic Venus there. Venus in Pisces, the planet is exalted in Pisces because it's about unconditional love, and having this conjunction with Neptune enforces that. So it could really mean that for you, you know, this intimacy, this opening of you is really going to get momentum, that you're going to open up a bit more towards that person who is very close to you, or maybe you just have met someone and it goes on a very deep level now. It goes on a very more intimate level. So all very interesting stuff going on with you, Leos. I wish you all the best with it. I wish you good luck, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you next month, Leos. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.